quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Well, season's greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Ryan of Neuroculture. Welcome to a very special event we have here for you tonight. Yes, we are going to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone on this panel and for those of you watching at home, but for me, this was the best IMAX 3D experience I've ever had in a motion picture theater, and that is Tron Legacy turns a healthy 10 years young tonight. But I am not alone going back onto the grid and facing my enemies in a disc war, a light cycle battle, what have you. Joining us on the grid tonight from HWWS Web TV, Garret is with us tonight. Garret, how are you?
I am doing great, man. Thanks for having us in tonight, man. This is going to be fantastic. I got my Tron on here, so we're just hanging out. I just got done doing a HWWS Web TV news recording to partner with a local news paper. So we are happy to be online, ready to relax a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. With the tough year it has been for all of us here in 2020. Also joining us tonight, making his debut here with Neuroculture and some other projects we're going to be working on. He is my tag team partner in the fan leagues of movie trivia. We go by the tag team name The Riehards because we're diehard movie fans. He is Ryan, the Real Ordeal O'Regan, is joining us tonight in the studio. Ryan, how are you, good sir?
I'm good to go. This is going to be fun. I've never actually done a watch-along, let alone anyone with two people I've never met before. So hopefully, Ryan, you'll have to curtail me and make sure I don't make the usual jackass of myself. But, yeah, a lot of good feelings about this movie, which I'll get into later. But,
well, the nice thing, Ryan, is this is just like a blind date, only with much more judgment.
So for me, a blind date, yes.
Yeah.
We're all dudes. Wait a minute.
I mean, there's always judgment, unfortunately.
Oh, it's gonna be fun to have by all. And joining us tonight, a very special guest, Dr. Robert Lupo is joining us in studio tonight. Dr. Robert Lupo, how are you tonight, good sir?
Doing okay. I'm also known as the Orlando Wizard on YouTube, and I work a lot with Garret, doing shows and promoting different things. I focus predominantly on theme parks and things to do in Orlando, Florida.
That is wonderful, incredible stuff. There is no doubt about it. Now, for those of you who are watching us live right now, or if you're watching the replay, if you want to watch this movie along with us, get your gear together, get your copy, whether it's a physical media or your streaming service, in this case, probably most likely Disney+. Go on there. We're going to queue up the movie. The movie is going to start around the 11-second mark if you're starting it on physical media or perhaps a streaming service. So feel free to grab your last-minute sodas, grab your last-minute popcorn, put on the movie, get ready to go, fire up the engines, because we're going to get started in a moment here. But I do want to real quick go around the table here before we start real quick. Now, has anyone been exposed to the universe of Tron before Tron Legacy? Because for me, this was my first foray into the universe known as Tron. Garret, what was your introduction to the Tron universe?
I went to the theater to see Tron. It was a one, when Tron came out, there had been nothing like it before. It wasn't meant to be, high culture or high literature, but it had broken all of the technical boundaries of its time. So flash forward to Tron Legacy, and I was super excited to revisit these characters. And I was super excited to revisit this world, the world that took place. We have come to know it. And of course, by the time Legacy came out, we knew it as cyberspace. When Tron came out, it didn't even have a name. It wasn't even the internet yet. There was just, so the idea of diving into a computer program was novel. By the time Legacy comes out, you can feel the technological upgrades. It was wonderful. So, but yeah, I saw Tron in the theaters. So the original Tron in the theaters.
No, I gotcha. A lot of history there. Ryan, the Reeler Dealer Regan, what was your first experience with the Tron universe? Was it back in 1982 when the first film came out?
God, no. I was just being born at that point. No offense again. I mean, that's making me feel young and yet aging myself at the same time. But no, funny enough, my first experience probably would have been the Disney Channel. Not so much the movie itself, because the movie, much like maybe The Black Hole, it never really got too much play on television. So unless you were someone that actually owned the VHS at the time or the DVD later on, you never really got to see it. But when it came to certain like specials or The Wonderful World of Disney and stuff like that, they would always reference Tron because of the big leaps in cinematography and in special effects that were brought about at that time. And so it was one of those things where it's like it was kind of like a holy grail. I always heard about it, but I never got to see it until probably college when I finally saw the DVD, bought it. It was like $5, and I decided to watch it. And I'm like, I get what they're saying. It's like, yes, by now the whole experience of Tron is probably like very, very dated, probably as dated as Killer Clowns from Outer Space for some people. But certainly for that time, it was just awe-inspiring. It actually made me want to play the Tron video game, the old school one, I think, from Atari. I had to break out my sister's old system and try it out, and I had to go searching for the cartridge. But, it was one of those things where, like, once the Legacy came around, I was like, yeah, I really want to see this. I really want to see where so many decades of advancement can take us. And to an extent, I was not disappointed.
Fascinating story. Dr. Robert Luba, when did you first enter the grid with Tron?
Like Garret, I saw it at theater.
Just shows you how young, or maybe not so young, some of our panelists may be.
Well, when Tron hit theaters, and then immediately after Tron hit theaters, Robert and I got to experience the Tron video game in the arcade.
Yeah, and so the Tron video game, and they did different Tron video arcades. They had, you had light racing, but they had a stand-up where you got into the box, and that was more of a disc game. So this was back in the days when everything was a quarter. Quarter.
You rode dinosaurs to the theater.
We had. See, back then, arcades were awesome, and everybody hung out at the arcade. I was in high school when Tron first came out, and it was very much like Star Wars, where it revolutionized a new era and a new way of doing things, because something like Tron had never been attempted before. Did it look great? Also look at like The Last Starfighter. That was also very revolutionary in that era. But you look back at it now. You look at Tron Legacy, and then you look at the original Tron, and it's day and night difference. Now, personally, I thought the story of Tron in many ways was better than Tron Legacy's story, but the graphics and the videography of Tron Legacy was, in my opinion, spectacular.
All right. I can understand that. Thank you for sharing that all with us, panel. So, as I said, we're going to start the movie at the 11-second mark. If you have any thoughts, questions, memories you want to share with us, drop them in the live chat. We're going to be monitoring it as we go throughout the course of tonight's very special 10th anniversary watch along of Tron Legacy. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our feature presentation begins. So here you go. Here's the cue. Get your markers. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and hit play. Let's do this thing. We're going back onto the grid. And the logo is coming up. So it's around the 12, 13 second, 14, 15, and so on and so forth mark. So we hope you enjoyed this special presentation of Tron Legacy for its 10th anniversary. And by the way, happy anniversary to all the filmmakers, the producers, the writers, directors, and the cast and crew of this film. Thank you for giving me my favorite IMAX 3D experience I've ever had in a theater. Thank you, everybody. And by the way, the dude, Jeff Bridges, with your health struggles, get well soon, Kevin Flynn. Get well soon.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, definitely. Stay
guys,
strong, stay healthy. We love you to pieces, Kevin Flynn. We want you to create more video games and get back onto that grid. So,
As we
giddy
watch
up, my
this,
man.
we watch this opening and we see, how far we've come. Back when the original Tron hit theaters, it had spent, 68 weeks in post-production. And when you think about the amount of time that these effects were in post-production, comparatively, probably about a third of the time. But just to do what they did in the original Tron, it took them 68 weeks in post. That's more than a year just to do the computer effects in early 1980s. So
I see. Movie starts in 1989, as the subtitle says. Gosh, 89. I was only 2.
wow. I got nothing to go with that. I was a dad by 1989.
89, I was in college.
Big in the Tron poster.
Oh, yeah.
The black hole, that was awesome.
I don't know. There were definitely significant differences between Tron and Black Hole. I'd say the biggest crisis with those kinds of movies is that, again, with as showy as they were, the pacing.
Yeah.
Pacing.
Well, I was mentioning black hole because the poster was in his room.
I know, but obviously, they're referencing that era where they had like the live action Disney movies.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where
they did.
I don't know what it was, but
they had a hard time early on. I think it's like any other technological advance. They had a hard time using what technology they had and figuring out how not to interrupt the pace of the story while doing cool visual effects. It took a long time, I think, for us to learn how to use those tools as tools. Yeah,
it always felt like they were doing like one or the other, never both at the same time.
Exactly. What's that they say? To a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So to the guys in the VFX department, everything looked like a challenge to be solved with, spectacle. Whereas to the story department, they had difficulty matching these things up. And today, I think we've how far have we come? It's been 10 years since this film. Well,
we've certainly come a lot further from that de-aging they did on Bridges.
Yeah.
As they call the uncanny valley, yes.
We live in the era of deepfake, though, where they can, a YouTuber can de-age you today with the right software.
It's just, I
didn't age naturally. I just did out of sunlight.
You know what he reminds me of? Like, looking at his face, de-aged and everything, he reminds me of what was the one from Deep Space Nine, the security guard with like
Odo.
He reminds me so much of Odo. Everything's so smooth.
All of the wrinkles that you have that are part of your natural face disappear in that in the old de-aging. You almost look like a video game character yourself, as compared to today, where like I said, the average YouTuber can de-age you with the deep fake tech that we've got out there.
Creepy.
Kind of like this montage, all the TVs showing what's been going on with Flynn since he disappeared, or has he been found, has he hasn't. I like some of these effects that they use early on.
I think it's interesting that they have fog running around by the TVs too. Did anyone notice that? The fog?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what time are we at right now? Since I want to make sure I'm up with everything here.
Go ahead and wiggle the. Looks like we're at about 5:31, 5:32, 5:33.
Okay. All right. So I'm just a couple of seconds behind. I think that was just the stalling since I'm working with Wi-Fi.
I think I'm ahead of you guys because I'm at 5:54, 55, 56.
That's about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 55, 56 now, so I'm just a couple of seconds
You're a
behind.
couple
Yeah,
seconds.
behind.
Yeah.
So I have over 400 megabits on my Wi-Fi and all my internet. So
Well, it wouldn't be a nerdy talk if we weren't talking about like internet and speeds and such. But we have to show credentials. As I sit here and drink my wine out of my
For all of
Moscow
our,
Mule mug.
our nerd culture viewers out there and our HWWS Web TV viewers, Ryan is having some connectivity issues with his tablet. And I know our nerd culture fans know Ryan is prone where he's at to having some outages. So he's working on setting up a laptop right now, and he'll be back in shortly.
That's okay. You have backup, Ryan, right here for you.
Right. That's right. Ryan O down there. So I love here that again, Ryan and I were talking earlier about those early days back in the 80s when they were doing Tron. The difficulty that filmmakers had telling a good story and using their tech at the same time. So it oftentimes felt like they paused the movie so that they could insert a tech scene and then came back later. Here in this film, right up front, you can actually see the passage of time in the filmmaking, because here we started with young Flynn already giving us a little bit of a tease, watching him on the cycle. You could see we're making, allusion to the story, where it's going and where it came from. So again, storytelling and tech are starting to find their jive by the time Tron Legacy comes out.
by the way, as a cybersecurity expert, that's not how you would hack that system. I'm just saying. There's no way you would have a vault door like that in the back.
In the future, and we're like, that's not how you do it.
Oh, you should see me when I'm watching security movies and screaming at the screen. No, that's not right.
Sometimes it's fun to be a nerd like this, just going ahead and looking at things, and you know that there's just little nuancy little things that'll just like bite at you, and you can say it now. You couldn't say it when you first saw the movie, obviously in the theater or in present company, or if it's just the first time viewing at home. But
I love how he tapped the screen with his coffee mug. The rest of the screen's fine, but that one little corner isn't working on a CRT. Yeah, no. And then blinding a camera with a green laser does work, but you have to maintain the laser on the camera directly in the lens.
I'm learning way more than I should at this point. We're not even 10 minutes into the film, and I already feel smarter.
Yeah, and on a filmmaking level, I'm loving the juxtaposition. If you guys, I know Lupo will know. You think back to the original Tron, the juxtaposition between Boxleitner and Bridges, and then of course the corporate overlord, as it were. Here we see our two characters, our two young guys.
No.
Juxtaposed in the same way, and we also see that he has the same problem that his old man had. He doesn't really pay attention to the security that he's breaching.
Nobody uses
so apparently ADD is genetic.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, getting caught was how Flynn ends up on the grid in the first movie.
Yeah, he gets shot because he just went barreling through.
Well, they're coming to get him because they caught him in his little lab there, messing with the system. So they were on their way to get him. That was their only option, was to bring him in onto the grid. So here we see like father, like son, clumsy break-in. It was very good to see the continuity of seeing Boxleitner at the board at the boardroom table.
Yeah, but then getting shot down by who was that? That was Cillian Murphy, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. What is it about skinny British people? It's like they just play dastardly, well-intentioned, but ultimately smarmy so well.
NCOM, OS 12.
Doggy!
Bear with us 1 second. Stop. 1 second.
All that technology at their fingertips, and they can't figure out this one video.
I also do love the legalities of writing the script. You might not be able to say Apple, but you can say NCOM OS 12 instead of new operating system or whatever. So you can't say Apple because that would be
Or Microsoft, right?
or Microsoft. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, but in OS operating systems, I mean, you have Linux, you have,
it's
universal,
but,
so they can say whatever they want, with OS.
But I think what is interesting though is that while it is a universal term for our tech community, there, branding wise, most systems refer to themselves by the system name. So Windows is on its whatever operating system we're on. Mac is, but Apple has been the one that has really kind of branded the initials for operating system because they use it in their overall branding. So
it's not an OS unless it's an iOS.
It's recognizable branding in an age when, obviously we don't want to get sued for saying, Apple is the grid. Although, let's face it, Apple is the grid.
No. No. Apple's based off of FreeBSD, which was written by a friend of mine. So Apple is using another operating system, which is Unix based, like Linux. But it's not the prominent operating system in the world.
Our host for the most is back. Ryan Permission from Nerd Culture has made it back onto the grid.
Yes. Clue and his minions seem to want to throw me out of this thing and not want me to be present for tonight's festivities. But I said, no. I have a plan B, and I had to go to that. So I do apologize for me being away for a few moments, but I'm back on the grid. I am happy to battle for the users and fight for what's right. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, just to recap for Ryan, what time stamp are we at? So this way we know he's caught up.
Yes.
13:52, 53, 54, 55.
Yeah, 13 minutes, 55 seconds. Basically, we're at the 14-minute mark for those of you who are trying to watch along with us at home or through, whether it's on physical media or a streaming service. We're at the 14-minute mark. We thank you for being with us. And if anyone's got any memories, any questions, anything they want to share about what they think of the Tron universe, please let us know in the live chat. We'll be monitoring it as we go throughout tonight's show. And we thank you all for being with us.
One of the fantastic juxtapositions between Legacy and the original Tron is the cityscape. That's an amazing thing to notice. That here when we flash forward to Legacies, the cityscape is so clean and so neat, and it's very modern. Very based on New York, and it's got that clean cityscape. In the 80s, gentrification had only just begun throughout New York, so it was still very gritty, very dirty. So when you based the city on it, it was dirty bricks and newspapers in the gutters, and it was a very different look going through the city than it was in this film.
And I want that man cave.
Amen to that. Look at that.
I wouldn't mind having one of those. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Tron himself, Bruce Boxleitner, at a convention. Had him sign an 8x10 of this very scene from Tron Legacy, and I was wearing my Tron Legacy T-shirt for that picture. So yeah, I came prepared for tonight's festivities. This T-shirt was from Movie Stop's midnight release party when Tron Legacy was released on Blu-ray and DVD. And I actually got I got the T-shirt that night. They gave me a disc. You know, it was a Frisbee, but it's an identity disc from Tron Legacy. So that was fun to get, along with the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, which I have right here.
Love the disc there that Ryan O's got. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it worked.
Yeah, where are those batteries, man? Light that thing up.
Okay, first of all, it takes 6 of those little disc batteries that you're supposed to like put into this thing. And secondly, apparently mine corroded a little, so I'm not exactly about to go ahead and buy 6 batteries just to test to see if this thing works again.
You know, you can clean that off with 80 or 90% rubbing alcohol. It helps dissolve it.
Got it.
The sugars are bad.
Ooh, I was paid.
Yeah, that's the question. Do I use my alcohol to clean the disc, or do I drink it?
Drink it.
Boy, those are what do you call those? Tough decisions to make.
Such as life.
These are the moral dilemmas in the life of a true nerd.
Yeah.
Fair point, Garret.
The reason I still hold on to this is because, much like Ryan here, I also got to see it in IMAX in New York City around this time for Christmas. And the person I went to go and see it with got me this as a Christmas gift.
That's awesome.
Mind you, this was just as I came home from Disney that year with the family. We celebrated Christmas in their celebration in Florida. So to go ahead and compound upon all the Disney influence is very nice. It was a good day up there.
Yeah. Yeah. In the immortal words of Kevin Flynn, radical man.
I saw
that's pretty much Bridges in general.
Downtown San Francisco on IMAX.
Oh, nice. It was. I gotta tell you, like I said before, to me, this is my best IMAX 3D experience. I put on my 3D glasses, and I was just ensconced. Like, I am in this world. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't care how long this movie is. I will be here until however long it is, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I loved the IMAX 3D experience of seeing this opening weekend in the theater with hundreds of other moviegoers. It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, at the time it was a great experience. I remember
great communal experience. Yeah.
Brand new ones up in the city at the AMC 25 that they had there. You know, huge crowd of people. It was there were no empty seats. And then you go ahead and you see how things have transpired on the movie in years past, and how there's never probably going to be a third one and all that. And you just never think about that when you're seeing the movie for the first time, because you're just really getting sucked into it.
Yeah, I knew very little about this going into it. All I knew is that it was a sequel to a film that came out X amount of years ago, but this trailer for it and the promotional materials that I saw for it that were coming out at the time were freaking-tastic. And then they debuted the music video for D-Rez with Daft Punk to promote the upcoming release of the movie, and that made me even more excited. I'm like, if this movie's going to be like this the entire time with this kind of music playing, I'm down. And sure enough, Daft Punk did the score for this movie, and this scene right here was my introduction to. I mean, I've heard music from Journey before, but this was my first time hearing Separate Ways by Journey. And as soon as the movie was over, I burned it onto my phone. I was like, I need this song. I love it. It was a great song to walk into an arcade.
That was my first concert as a kid. Was Journey.
Was Journey? That's fantastic, man.
I love Journey.
Yeah, great music. Great music.
Oh,
there's no question.
Well, that and Styx. If you ever listen to Styx.
Yes. I have heard Styx music, yes.
Not a bad song. Not one.
Okay. Cool.
Did we lose Garret?
He said he will return momentarily. Just got a message from him. He's going to return momentarily. Just had to step. He had to step out to get some popcorn or something. I don't know. He'll be fine. Yeah, there's the game in the arcade. By the way, I miss going to arcades.
Have you been to here in Florida? It was at the Player One arcade bar.
I have not been to that one, and I have not been to certain areas of Florida yet. So as soon as Earth reopens, we can all gather together as one big happy family. I'm more than happy to go down to that arcade as well as many others.
I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, up here in Jersey, we have the barcade that you get in New York and New Jersey. Plus, there's a small little chain called Yestercades.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So it's all retro games, like nothing even like new. Like you'd never find a 3D game or a Fix-It Felix Jr. or anything like that. Which I have played Fix-It Felix Jr. It's pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I played it at Disneyland.
Oh, okay. That's amazing.
It was on free play.
Free play. Speaking of arcades, if you had the opportunity to put one game in your house, if it's a RP, if it's a shoot 'em up game, if it's a standard joystick push many buttons at the same time kind of game, or a pinball machine, but you can only pick one, what would you put in your house or your space if you had enough space for it?
Oh my goodness. The problem is I was raised on arcade games.
Sure.
So I love all of them, and Defender, Gagala, or not Gagala, whatever. What the hell was the name?
Galaga.
Galaga. I don't know why.
That man is playing Galaga.
Galaga is amazing.
But
I would probably go Galaga.
Okay.
And I would probably do it as a tabletop, where you sit down and you look and you had a table. It was a table.
Oh wow.
You never did that?
No, I've done. Well, what I mean is I played tabletop games, just not that one.
Yeah, you'd always see them at the pizzerias, so this way you could like have your slice sitting there on the corner.
Yeah.
And you're playing the game.
Oh, okay. It's coming back to me now. Some of those memories are starting to float back. Okay, gotcha. Not that particular one, but I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
I think it's ironic that the script, it's been running since forever.
1989, when the first scene comes up and he's speaking to Sam when he's just a little kid. Yeah. That whole opening scene
That is
there.
energy efficiency, though. Think about it.
It's true. Yeah, I could see that. If I had to pick a game to have in my space, if I had enough space for something, one game that I really enjoyed playing growing up is the Star Wars arcade game, where you're just punching the joystick, because you're flying the X-Wings and then you're having a lightsaber battle with Darth Vader, and then you're basically going through all the big battles in the original series trilogy, and that was one of my favorite games growing up. So if I were going to have a game in my home, I would want that arcade game sitting there just so I can sit in a chair and play with the hit the button all at the same time. So that's
now I have to say, the transition that they did here, not a fan. I preferred it the way it was in the first movie, where they actually had him like being
scanned in,
scanned into the game.
I like that too.
Welcome back, Garret.
Oh, he in trouble.
Runs out of the arcade. Everything's dark.
Welcome back, Garret.
Everything turns to like shades of blue and like darkness, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what is this?" And
That's
there
a weird
comes
looking helicopter.
So he should know enough that this is bad.
There enters a recognizer. I think Ryan said the transition between him running out of the arcade and going into the grid was handled not well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just very different from the original Tron, where he was actually, you watched him be kind of scanned and digitized into grid. You could feel what was about to happen in the original. This one, it almost feels like he's in a dream state.
It's like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
He walked out.
I agree.
Yeah, but even in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, it's like there was a big old laser and you saw it shoot him and you saw like the electrocution.
They didn't even get that this time.
Yeah, this time it almost felt like he was, went into a dream, where he opened the door and he was inside the world inside the machine. So,
I guess I could see that. Now he's caught up in the recognizer ship. Shades of red and orange,
like a big old glass bottom boat.
Now the other thing that obviously 25 years gives you is a bigger budget, and so you can actually see some of the practical elements here, whereas the original.
I like how he's missing part of his head.
Yeah, in the original Tron, the original Tron, most of the environments were all After Effects. here we have obviously a huge amount of digital effects, but they're standing on some practical set pieces too, which makes it.
Yep, there are
More-
definitely practical effects used during the course of this film.
Again, it's you can watch the evolution of filmmaking as you watch how they use their digital technology. They don't try to do everything. They have a practical set that they build, and then they extend it digitally, which is awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of evolution, anyone play the video game Tron Evolution for Xbox 360 or the PS when it was coming out?
I did.
Nice. I played it too. It was a lot of fun. Played it on my Xbox 360. It was fun.
I still have my Xbox 360.
Well, at least one of us does, Dr. Lupo. At least one of us does. It's amazing. Rectify games.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody's watched the animated series or
Tron Uprising, I love that show.
Some of the things off
We had trouble
because at the end of Tron, the original Tron,
sure,
the digital landscape, the grid had been liberated. However, when our guy arrives here, you can there's still an evil force at play. So I'm wondering if in continuity that's ever explained anywhere.
To a certain extent, Uprising pretty much does kind of work as close as possible as being like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, the bridge.
Yeah. I believe, I'm trying to think, is it one or two of the actresses that are present in this scene? One of them, I know, plays another role later on down the line, either in this movie or another, but one of the sirens, these are these young ladies who help put the competitors together, put their suits on, get them ready for the games, as it were. One of them is Serinda Swan, who played the great character Zatanna on Smallville for 2 or 3 episodes. She went on to be...
Blonde.
Yeah, what's that?
I think it's the blonde.
Okay, yeah, then that's the blonde then. But yeah, Serinda Swan, she was also in A&E's Breakout Kings. Then she went on to do, a series called Corner on the CW, which aired earlier this year. So it's good to see Serinda Swan still doing TV work and all that kind of jazz, because she doesn't really have much to do in this. But it's good to see Serinda Swan, because her as Zatanna on one of my favorite shows, Smallville, great stuff. Just saying. Wonderful actress. Put on the suit.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Lights up.
Yeah, no, it's got to be her.
Yeah. Who needs the Griswold Christmas tree when you have a suit that lights up? Sorry, different movie, different property.
Focus, Ryan. Focus.
I know, different studio too. So sorry. Oh, I wish I could have one of those Real Identity discs in my collection. Oh my gosh, I want one so bad.
How badly do you want it?
I know there is someone who makes them, but they are hundreds of dollars. But I'm not rich yet.
Guys, I've got the movie going over here. I have to jump real quick. I've got to do some stuff with Cosplay Michael here.
Sure.
So, but I'll be back on when I can get on. And
sure.
In the meantime, enjoy the film, guys. Robert, I will talk to you later on, my brother.
Cheers.
All right. Ryan O, it was wonderful to meet you, sir. Enjoy the film.
Likewise.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay.
See you, buddy. Thanks, Garrett.
One of my best friend makes movie props in LA.
How much does an identity disc cost?
I'll call him tomorrow and find out.
Get a quota? Yeah, that'd be great.
I can find out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have so much fun watching this movie. It's like I want an identity disc, I want this, and that in my it's hard to get. Some things are. I will say this though, they're not here right now. I thought they would be here for this celebration of the 10th anniversary of Tron Legacy, but unfortunately they're not. I did find a collector that was selling some replicas of certain items that were released during the course of the marketing for the movie. I'm getting a Kevin Flynn action figure and Sam's Light Cycle diecast that are coming in. So those will be here soon, but unfortunately they weren't able to make it here in time for tonight's show that I can present to the audience.
Now if I could actually just get one of those replica light cycles that I've actually seen people drive.
Really? You've seen people drive those?
Oh, yeah. If you actually look on YouTube, there are people that made a light cycle replica.
And now I want one.
Those are,
obviously you don't get
which is most likely more expensive than a simple identity disc.
Yeah. Right. Just a little bit, though.
Just a little bit. That's true. And this, I almost forgot to bring this up to the audience. For those of you watching at home and keeping up with the film, we are actually at the 30-minute and 47, 47 second mark. This scene here, where they're participating in the games, the audience's reaction was taped at San Diego Comic-Con. When they were doing the presentation for this, or the idea for this movie, they wanted to get audience's reaction. The audience was overwhelmingly positive, so they taped and recorded the audience's reaction and used that audio in the movie during the games scene that you are seeing right now.
That's
So
nice.
basically, the audience at Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con is in this scene with the audio in the background, which I think is really cool. You know, give the people who love these properties and have them involved in the production in some way, shape, or form. Oh, identity discs. I love
seeing him fumble with it. It's like, that would be me.
Yeah, I love the games and the light cycle scenes so much in this movie. I love them so much. He's almost gonna fall through that hole that's in the arena there. Good. Almost went through that one.
Oh my goodness.
Did he almost go through that one? No, he didn't. Oh, he crashed it and he gone.
That was actually very clever of him, by the way.
Yep, you have been de-rezzed.
You tricky son of a bitch.
So instead of saying the word murder, kill, or destroy, in this movie they say, let's de-res this program.
Security sweeps and patrols have been intensified. Rectify around schedule. Our initiative should be fully operational within 12 cycles.
Oh, James, am I saying
And
this right?
little did they know that those face shields he's wearing would actually be used today.
Oh, because of the current climate, yeah. Yep, very true.
I mean, let's be fair. If they made masks that look like that, I think some people would probably wear them more.
Probably. Yeah. That's a fair. What am I trying to say here? That's a fair point. Whoa!
Whoa, that was awesome.
And then just, you know. What was the? Let's see. Okay. Some people in the chat commenting on the question we had earlier. What video game would you want to have in your space or have in your home? Brandon says the Terminator 2 arcade game. Jerome says either the Star Wars or original Star Trek games. Well, those are good picks.
I'm more upset that more people aren't picking like the multiplayer games, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men.
X-Men, I played that.
Are we talking PC games?
No, we were talking about the arcade games you would want to have in your home.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking straight cabinet.
Oh, cabinet. Yeah,
What about Gauntlet? Gauntlet's great.
Yeah, Gauntlet's classic. Even like the newer Gauntlet that you got in like the late 90s, early 2000s, the updated version.
Really?
That I wouldn't mind having.
Yeah, that's a battle pose right there. Now I don't have one, I have two. Yeah. Rinsler.
Does that make him schizophrenic?
It's like it's not working.
Because he has two identities?
Oh, Dr. Lupo.
I know, I'm sorry.
Nice one. Nice
I should feel bad, shouldn't I?
That would be nuts.
No spoilers.
We actually discussed the condition known as schizophrenia and like dissociative identity disorder in one of my classes I took this semester, so I'm familiar with some of these terms. I mean, I've heard them before my class, but at the same time, we just learned about them in my class this semester, to be more specific.
What degree are you going for?
Well, my degree is, my major is electronic media and film, which I've already completed my major credits. I'm taking a minor right now in applied adult disability studies. So that's some of the stuff we were learning about different disabilities. One of my classes was Introduction to Disabling Conditions, and the other one was called History of Disability. Those are the two courses I took this fall. Cool. So, but yeah, I want my electronic media and film major, and then an applied adult disability studies minor. I want to make our YouTube channel, nerd culture and everything that I'm doing with it. I want to make that my full-time gig. But outside of that, I work with I work for Hudson Center for Adults with Autism. So.
Oh, good for you.
That's something that I do, and I take very seriously because I'm on the autism spectrum myself. So I'm an X-Men, if you will. Yes, it is true.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Yep, I have autism. I was diagnosed when I was 11, and in the beginning it wasn't easy, but years later I learned how to accept myself for who I am and be more comfortable in my own skin. And hence the reason I work at the Hussman Center for Adults with Autism, and I love my job. I'm an advocate in a way for people, so that's one of my jobs right now. And then hopefully the YouTube channel will grow and grow and grow to the point where it can be my full-time job.
All right. Respect.
So we will see how it goes. Time will tell, and it does take time for certain YouTube channels to grow.
I got my PhD 2 years ago in information technology.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
I'm done with school for a while.
Well, I'm actually graduating next fall, just so you know. So
congratulations.
I'll be getting my bachelor's degree next fall. Yay!
No, that's awesome. Man. Congratulations. That's
yeah. Yep.
Yes,
so I have spring semester next fall, and then I'm done. Yep. That's my there's my college journey in a nutshell.
Yeah, but you got a long ways to go still. Depends on how far you want to go.
That's true too. Uncanny Valley again with Clue over here.
I just can't.
Oh, you give away a clue.
With Clue. His helmet is off now, so we can critique how the de-aging process of Jeff Bridges looks.
Yeah, he looks like a Clue, but he stinks like a red herring.
I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah, and he still should feel bad.
I'm just, yeah. I really like.
I love the outfits, actually.
Yeah, I love the suits. I love the suits. That's why if I ever dress up as a character for Halloween, or if I ever win the lottery and I'm able to, have someone make these outfits for me, custom made, I would like to go as one of the users or programs from the grid.
Oh yeah, no. What they do with fiber optics and everything and clothing, that stuff is like almost too doable. Like there are tutorials that you can find online.
Have you ever seen the Tron leather motorcycle outfit? It's pants and the jacket, and then it's got glowing reflective tape to outline, make it look like Tron. And then they have a helmet that you can put the lights on, so you get the actual glow.
Very nice.
Wow. I think the leather outfit was something like $1,600. And actual real motorcycle armor.
Good suits. I am not your father, Sam, but I am very, very happy to see you. That's something Emperor Palpatine.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, good.
You're arrogant.
Yeah. All that kind of jazz.
Same thing I'm going to do to you.
It's got a nice ship.
Why is there fireworks on the grid? Is this a screensaver?
Yeah,
Wow.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you almost have to wonder if like the whole grid and everything was kind of like the Matrix, where it's like if you looked at a screen of it, what would this computer screen of it look like?
That's a good point. And this is more, what is it? More audio is being used from the crowd reaction at San Diego Comic-Con at Hall H. So basically all the crowd reactions in this movie were recorded at San Diego Comic-Con at Hall H. When they were doing the presentation for this idea of Tron Legacy. User. Even though he was trying to say the word loser, but they say user. Who's this mysterious figure overwatching the grid?
With the shoulders exposed.
With this, yeah.
Like, it's nice to know that the costume itself is very, covers up exactly who it could be. It could never be like a woman. No, never.
Of course
not. I've always hated that about costuming. Now, I get it. You have male bodies, you have female bodies, and yet, some reason, some way, women's costumes always are just obviously women's costumes. Whereas a guy's costume, you can be worn by anybody. You wouldn't know.
Thank goodness.
It's a long time for this. You want to play? I'll play.
Oh wow, it's really nicely synced up because I'm hearing it on the television and I'm hearing it on the speaker.
Excellent word, sir.
Yeah, my volume is pretty as low as I can get it, so I can still kind of hear it. But I want to avoid copyright, so that's why I try to keep my volume as low as I can.
Oh yeah, no, mine's practically been non-existent just out of safety concerns.
Last thing we need is the Mouse House, giving us a call.
Yeah, no. God forbid we celebrate a property that they're obviously not making much money off of.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't
the ride
care.
in Epcot.
They don't care about giving us what we've wanted for 10 years, which is a Tron 3. So yeah, make all your billions of Marvel movies and make your hundreds of spin-offs of Star Wars, but you don't want to give Tron, a property that has a lot of potential to go in a lot of different directions. You don't want to give me my Tron 3, Disney? How dare you?
Well, we never even thought we had to get a Tron 2, so.
That's true. Tron 2 somewhat kind of came out of nowhere, but at the same time, I want my Tron 3, Dr. Lupo.
Well, there is promise. I mean, let's not forget that now actually is an official ride for the movie.
Yes. Yeah, it's debuting in Shanghai, if I remember correctly.
And as we've seen with the investors meetup, they are really trying to lean into Disney Plus. I would say if we ever did get a Tron 3, it would probably be something on the network. I don't see them going ahead and spending the money to put it out on in theaters, provided there are any at that time.
Yeah, that's true. I can understand that. They do something for Disney Plus. Again, I'll be all over it. I'll be there opening weekend.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like I would imagine, yes, from the original Tron to now, it jumped in quality and what you can do with CGI and everything. If you were to do one, like say in the next 5 years, it would still pretty much look like this.
Yeah.
So they really wouldn't have to do anything new. They could really cut costs, probably use a lot of the old stuff that they had, and just make sure that the story is actually good.
That's a good point. Oh, light cycles.
So this is actually something I didn't like very much because in the original Tron, all the movements were right angles, right? And here you can wave and do this, and it took the spirit of it out, because it set the rules the first time and then it broke them.
Yeah, but that's the way of technology. It takes what you can do and shows you what's really possible. The fact that they're actually able to do this just shows how advanced everything has come and how much they've grown as a digital society in that time.
I don't know.
I mean, don't forget, also back when you saw the original one, it was just like bricks of light that was going back there. Now you've got this fluid plasma that's riding behind it. Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah. Quick side note, though, about 80s properties. I actually finally sat down and watched this movie that some people have been telling me, if you're going to watch some 80s movies, this has got to be one of them at the top of your list. And I bought it on Blu-ray because I took a leap of faith and I watched it. And after watching it, I did review it for my podcast called The Nerdcast, which for those of you who are watching us, you can download it on Anchor, Google, Spotify, whatever. I did see The Last Starfighter for the first time.
Oh, nice.
Not too long ago. And I got to say, for a movie that was made for that time and what they were able to do and the story they put out with the actors and actresses, I enjoyed the heck out of that. That movie has a spirit that I really enjoy. So The Last Starfighter, solid 80s film. And I did give it a positive review. So if you're curious about what my thoughts were, feel free to go back and listen to that after this very program.
If I remember right, the special effects, the computer animation that they did for The Last Starfighter was done on a video toaster, which is also what they use for Babylon 5.
Oh. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, Last Starfighter. I finally saw it. There you go. Mark that off my 80s movies to-do list.
Oh!
So close, but he gets D-res.
Well, that was...
Oh, and he takes the hand with him. Oh.
Man, me and everyone in the theater were going nuts during these scenes because they're just so awesome. Just so awesome to watch. Man, we were cheering, we were clapping. I was clapping at certain parts. I was going like, yeah! It's a lot of different reactions from the crowd during opening weekend of this movie.
Oh, who doesn't love a good joust? essentially what it is.
Whoa! Look at this.
And now we just went Fast and Furious.
Come with me if you want to live.
Or in this case, the person just says, "Get in."
Yeah.
It drives off.
Game on, old friend.
I do like that part where they flip up.
Right back up on the surface, yeah.
Yeah, no, the arena is... That's the funny thing about it. It's like if this was like a normal setting, you'd see all the little traps and hills and obstacles. But here, because it's so sleek and clean, you don't know what the floor is capable of. We all know where the dips are. You don't know where you can flip in. So just when it just like, oh shit, that happened. It brings a lot of surprise to it.
Hold up, man. You can't make that.
Whoa. Big jump.
I like this part.
Woo! We're going off-road.
Made it.
Which here's one thing I have to wonder about. If this is a sort of computer digital grid environment,
yes.
How does smoke and dust happen?
What was that?
How does smoke and dust happen?
Yeah, that's a really good point, right?
The certain effects. Okay.
Like,
I just think of it as the grid.
I
The
get there might be
possibilities are endless.
some type of oxygen in the system, but there's a lot of the landscape that, you know, if we're going by like computer makeup, makes no sense. And again, I'm nitpicking, obviously, but
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm sure there are some audience members that did that after seeing this video in theaters or after the fact. But at the same time, I'm just enthralled by the world of the grid. I think to myself, the grid, anything's possible, and I just can kind of take away the nitpickiness and suspend my disbelief. So I just have a good time with it. But that's not for everybody, but that's sometimes how my brain operates.
yeah, it's like this part, like here, it feels more like it's a part of Cybertron. With all how it's all angled and blocky, and yet still looks all metallic.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, and I don't mean to call this person out, Brian from Reels and Heels, a part of HWWS Web TV Network. He may or may not have hinted at potentially getting me the Steelbook version of Transformers the movie, because I've never seen it. So.
Well, wait, which Transformers the movie? The Michael Bay version or the animated?
The animated movie.
You never saw the animated?
No, because I didn't grow up on G1 like everyone else did. It was a little before my time. Yeah,
dude, they curse in it. It's awesome.
There's a possibility that I may be getting that for the holiday season. I'm not sure, because I know the Steelbook version is available from Shout Factory, but who knows?
Yeah, no, I don't have the Steelbook. I do have the 25th anniversary edition, if nothing else.
I think that's what Brian said, or he hinted at the possibility of maybe getting me for the holidays. I don't know. If I get it, I will be more than happy to watch a Transformers original animated movie. I'm more than happy to do it.
Fuck yeah, Orson Welles is Unicron? You don't get any bigger than that.
Wait a minute, he's Unicron in that?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. I gotta see this now. Isn't, what was his name? John Bender from Breakfast Club? Isn't Gleason in that a voiceover in that movie? Paul Gleason? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Are you thinking Judd Nelson?
Judd Nelson, I'm sorry. Yeah, Judd Nelson. Wasn't he?
Yes, he plays Hot Rod.
Hot Rod, thank you. Yes. Okay. Well, if I see the movie,
Robert Stack of Unsolved Mystery fame as Ultra Magnus.
If I see the movie during the holiday break, I will let everybody know.
And then you also have Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron.
Spock. Okay. Galvatron. All right. Nice.
It's kind of
This is the action. This is the action figure I'm supposed to get in the mail. Kevin Flynn wearing his white Yoda outfit.
He looks like he was just in detox.
I know, right? Yeah, that's the action figure that I'm supposed to be getting in the mail very soon. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Was it Robert? You were trying to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the cast for that Transformer film is epic.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've been told. I just haven't seen the movie yet.
It's got Weird Al Yankovic in it, man.
Wait a minute, Weird Al's in this?
Well,
Jeez.
in Transformers, yes.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Wreck-Gar.
Oh, well, then never mind. No, I'm kidding.
Weird Al. Wasn't he at Weird Al Yankovic? Yeah, he was at Awesome Con not too long ago in Washington, D.C. Yeah. That is true.
Hi, I'm Mr. Flynn, and I'm an alcoholic.
he's got the outfit and the beard to prove it. Yeah.
This is Cora. She's my sponsor.
Is this Cora? Sponsor or whatever.
He looks
Cora or Cora? The Q
Cora.
always mess me up.
It's a Q, yeah, so it's Cora. Yeah.
Cora.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't think, and this is something that Ryan and I are familiar with. I'm not sure if I issued a challenge for Full Metal Random to do a Tron match that includes both movies in the animated series, but if anyone ever issues a challenge, I'd be up for it.
Well, yeah,
Full Metal
sure.
Random.
Now you've had the most recent experience.
Yeah, for Full Metal Random. If anyone wants to bring it up in 2021 for Malcolm, we can always bring it to his attention later. I'm already signed up for like 4 or 5 matches next year, I think. I don't know. Malcolm knows better than I do. Because he's the commish of Full Metal Random, just to be of that particular league.
Yeah, all I know is I'm technically undefeated in randoms. So
nice.
I'm a good 3 for 3.
Did you see the top 50 rankings that Malcolm posted of who ranked where overall at the end of the season?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook page, so feel free to see where you landed. I noticed I was in the top 35.
Oh, very good.
35th place because
you play more than I do, so.
Well, I think it tells you why you're in that position. It tells you what specific match and how many points you got for it. The reason I'm in 35th is because I did so well in the Smallville match. So that was
a trivia competition.
Yes, this is a fan league for movie trivia, and Full Metal Random is where you can issue a challenge on either a movie franchise or it could be any franchise. It could be anything movie or TV related, or even video games. It's basically a random category that you feel most comfortable issuing a challenge for, and then they pick you because you issued the challenge, and then you go up against 2 or 3 more competitors, and it becomes a triple threat or a 4-person match.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Ryan and I, we've competed in a few ourselves over the last year or so, and it's been fun. It's a lot of fun, especially when you know the topic and you just it's a fun yet somewhat. I mean, I've been a competitive guy I'm a bit of a competitive person by nature, so I really want to win, but I know that when I lose, it's a little bit rough. But it's like, hey, Full Metal Random is more just about having fun, whereas the teams division and the singles division is more about getting that belt. So.
They're dining on a full pig. Not only his son was going to be there, they felt the 2 of them could finish a whole pig.
Yeah, look, she's digital. You don't know how well she packs it away.
Yeah.
For all we know, the entire outfit is one big Spanx.
That is a good point. Put the pig on the table if you're not really going to eat much of it. I don't know.
My concern is the blue milk thing that they happen to have in the glasses.
Well, it's clear, so it's like water, isn't it?
It's skim
water.
It's blue, not blue milk, blue water. Because if they said blue milk, they'd be taking the Star Wars pun. It's like, hey, only Luke can drink that, not you.
I said skim. Skim's mostly water.
Oh, skim, yes. Yeah. Nice.
I mean, obviously, look at him. He has to eat and drink clean. Otherwise, he's becomes the dude again, and he's on the wagon. Or off the wagon, whichever way it works in the grid. All I know is there's a wagon.
I can't believe I'm blanking on this because they discussed what the difference is between on and off the wagon in a Seinfeld rerun episode that I watched. Is it off the wagon?
Oh, what a Jerry! I think is when you go drunk.
Yeah, I think that's what Jerry was. I think that's what Jerry and Elaine were saying in the apartment. Oh.
So right now he's on the wagon. He's on the grid wagon.
I'm losing my play. But anyway, we are at the 55 minutes, 10-second mark within Tron Legacy. And for those of you who are just joining us, if you want to queue up your copy, queue it up on your streaming service or your DVD or Blu-ray player, feel free to do so. And we very much are thankful that you are joining us tonight. And for those of you who are chiming in the chat, Thank you for your comments. We appreciate them 100%. We hope you are enjoying this holiday season, despite the fact that we are stuck in the midst of a global pandemic.
Unless you're on the grid.
Unless you're on the grid, then you don't have to worry about pandemic aside.
No, you just have to worry about an overlord dictatorship hovering over you.
And being de-resed by discs.
Yeah.
Less than entertainment.
Unless you go to Mount Sinai rehab, like the dude did.
Yeah.
Seriously, all of this screams, I'm trying to be my better self, man.
Well, he does. He does say something about that a little bit later on in the film. That's somewhat similar to that, which is one of my favorite lines in the movie, which we'll get to a little bit later on. Oh man.
Which, okay, just looking at this kind of scene. Now, if you're Tron, and you've got Flynn and Clue, and both of them look exactly the same, how much input do you think you're going to have in anything? It's like, if I'm looking at that and I'm seeing I'm dealing with like not just one person, but two people of like minds, I already feel like I'm getting screwed out of the situation.
Oh yeah, you're totally voted against.
Yeah.
Science, philosophy, every idea man has ever had about the universe up for grabs. Biodigital jazz,
man.
Biodigital jazz, man. Yeah.
So what happened? Clue. Clue happened.
Clue's a bitch.
And that's still to create the perfect system.
Yeah.
It was a coup.
It was a Clue coup.
Very good.
Which I gotta say, for the movies, the character of Tron gets the short end of the stick, even though he is the title character.
Yeah, someone in the chat was saying that they wish this movie actually did include more of Tron in the film.
Right.
Even the first Tron should have had more Tron in the film, if that was the case.
They said the same. A lot of people have told me, even though I love this movie to pieces, 1989's Batman. It was more of a Joker movie than a Batman movie. It was more Joker than Batman.
Why did you fight?
Well, to be fair, Nicholson did get top billing.
He did, even though I thought Keaton should have gotten top billing. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, I'd say it was a good 50-50. The difference with that movie was that, you actually saw the Joker's origin.
That's true.
Batman, he had his little flashback, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you had to build it up.
Chilling on that couch. He's got his Yoda robe on. He's got his Jedi robe on. In the flashback. That's a nice robe, too.
Yeah.
Nice robe, kind of trench coat kind of thing. That's another thing I wish I had in my collection. I wear that. Especially during the wintertime. Man.
I often wonder if they ever made, not dolls per se, but let's say action figures, where you actually had to pull on the ring in the back, like the old times, and pull the string back in order to make them talk. I mean, they all look like they're set up for it.
Exactly, right? Oh, damn it. The string broke. I can't make my guy talk anymore.
Woody's got something like that. His is a pull string, only it sounds like a car ran over it.
Yeah.
Toy Story lines. And that movie just turned 25 years young last month. The first Toy Story movie is 25 years old now.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, sorry, Ryan. 25 years young.
My head, my poor old head.
We just celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Chris O'Donnell, Bill Paxton movie Vertical Limit last week. That movie turned 20 years young.
I've never watched it.
It's a good mountain climbing, action adventure movie directed by Martin Campbell, who directed GoldenEye, Casino Royale, and The Mask of Zorro.
If I want a mountain climbing movie, I will take either Cliffhanger or the opening scene of Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Cliffhanger, the intro for Cliffhanger, the very first few minutes is so bloody intense. First time I saw it, I was on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those slime movies I haven't gotten around to yet.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, a lot of people say I need to see Cliffhanger for sure. But as far as mountain climbing movies go, Vertical Limit is it's a good film, Ryan. If you're looking for another action adventure film, feel free to give it a shot.
What was the mountain climbing movie where they're talking about climbing Half Dome? Freehanding it.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh gosh. Why am I blanking on that?
Or 20 Points was the name of the movie.
No, I'm kidding. Freehanding it. Oh gosh. It wasn't Tracers, was it?
No. It's almost like a documentary because it actually happened.
Not coming to me. Sorry. If someone wants to Google it, feel free. I can't remember. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what movie that is.
By the way, if anyone wants a good wine for the holidays, La Bodega.
La Bodega?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a wonderful Artesian Malbec.
There you go.
Yeah, I've become a sommelier in the past few months, so. And that's just because liquor stores paid me to talk about their wines while people came through to the registers. So,
really,
I got to get free samples.
Oh,
but I had to do my research, so I wasn't dumb.
There you go.
Oh, the Dawn Wall.
The Dawn Wall. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
Okay, never heard of it.
Watch that movie.
Never heard of it.
I had no interest in it, and my girlfriend at the time, who was into mountain climbing, goes like, "We need to watch this together." And I was like, "Okay, dear." And God, it was really good. It was fascinating.
What was it called again?
The Dawn Wall.
The Dawn Wall. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, once 2021 comes around, is going to want to talk about Dawn's Wall at all. That was last movie.
But it's long and firm. So, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Like hell.
That's like, never mind.
It truly was a very, very good movie, and it was just incredibly done, and what these guys ended up doing and how they did it was astounding. Trying to get all the way up Half Dome, and I think it's free. I think it was called Free Climbing Half Dome.
Oh wow! Okay.
And amazing. Look, it's an old-fashioned book in the Matrix.
There's your VIP pass.
This is a book.
I
believe that this is a book.
Pass in it or something. Yeah, that's something I plan on doing a lot over winter break, is reading a lot of books. I'm very excited. Can't wait to get a whole bunch of them off my Amazon list.
Do you do them through Kindle or do you buy old-fashioned?
I'm old school. I prefer to actually have a physical book in my hand and read it. Plus, it's easier on the eyes because when you're using a screen all day long, it's too much on the eyes.
Yeah, but with like the Kindle Fire and the Paperwhite.
Yeah, Paperwhite. I was going to say.
Yeah, they're designed not to produce glare.
I thought about getting that, and then I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm just so used to physical. I think I'll stick with that for now. But if I want to, get something as a potential, plan B option, I can always get a Paperwhite, next year. Or something.
They're not cheap. I'm sorry, they're not expensive at all. They're very inexpensive.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I like to have my whole library at my fingertips because I read a lot of tech books.
Sure.
Specialized in cybersecurity, so I'm always reading cybersecurity books, and so I want to look them up for reference. So I'll pull up a book on securing Linux, and then I can easily search for what I'm looking for and have it at my fingertips.
Well, could always be an option for next year for myself. We'll see. But for now, I'm just used to getting physical copies, which is what I'm going to be buying a lot of after get all my Christmas money. So yeah, looking forward to it.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of books I want to read over the break, including some what is it? Some Boom comic trade paperbacks and one Marvel and one DC one that I have in my possession. I have Planet Hulk, Batman, White Knight. Boom Comics has been doing a great job with the Power Rangers franchise, so I got 2 of those trade paperbacks I want to read. So yeah, I'm excited.
Do you know who Michael Stockpole is?
I feel like I've heard the name before, but who is it again?
So Michael Stockpole, great writer, love his writing. He did a lot of the BattleTech books and many of the Star Wars books.
Oh, okay.
So Rogue Squadron, that's one of his books that they're coming to Disney Plus.
Oh,
he is amazing.
Mind reading that?
Yeah, I worked with him when I was working on Mech Warrior 2.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's a great writer and a spectacular human being.
Oh, keep that in mind. I like this robe that Sam's wearing. And
I am not the Sith Lord you were looking for.
And there's one of the 4 sirens that were present when they were putting this.
Blonde. Told you.
Yeah, it was. It was. I was just trying to think of the actress's name because I know she was in something else, but I can't remember it. Doggone it! But yes, this is one of the 4 sirens that we saw earlier in the film.
Centuries downtown. Traced it to a
Honestly, I could have gotten a paperweight during the Cyber Week sales.
I love that umbrella she has.
Live and learn.
They look like they're on a first date. It's cute.
I know, right?
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Look at that elevator just going up like how many?
Now she's gonna be all jealous.
Yeah. How many floors is that building they were going up in that elevator? Was it like 100, like 300 floors? Who knows? Maybe I'm overthinking it.
That actually is kind of cool.
Look at that elevator, just my goodness. It's going up and up and up and up to the VIP lounge, aka the club.
I'm telling you, like now that the ride's been put out, I will not be surprised if within like the next decade, because of what they've done with Galaxy's Edge, there is not a Tron hotel.
Oh,
that would be very interesting.
That would be cool.
That would be so like.
I would pay that
everything, fresh, and clean cut, and slick.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to that hotel, staying there for a weekend or so.
I mean, it'll be expensive as hell.
Well, yeah, but that's why I would go with friends so that we can all split the bill.
Right. I'm working.
That's why my family is a member of the Disney Vacation Club.
I'm working on a video right now on my YouTube channel for updates on the new Star Wars hotel.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's. Rumor has it it's 3 nights for $3,000 per person, and it's an interactive experience. You're actually sent on missions. You're giving outfits to wear.
Daft Punk.
There's that. Yes, Daft Punk does make a cameo in the club.
My friend who makes movies in LA, he did the original helmets for Daft Punk.
Nice. That's really cool. That's amazing, actually.
See, this is why I like with the update. The first Tron was never this sexy.
No.
And they've really gone ahead and they've just not so much modernized just the city, but they've modernized the mentality of what goes on in the grid.
Yeah, but man, the Star Wars hotel coming, I want to pay them a visit. That'd be fun. This was my introduction to Michael. Was it Michael? Michael Sheen.
I know, but the thing is, he looks like a low-rent Loki. Even with
he
the hair.
does. But this was my introduction to him as an actor, and he was fantastic in this. Very charismatic in this movie.
Away from these primitive functions.
Michael Sheen. What a very gifted actor this man is.
So at in Disneyland, not too long ago, over at California Adventure, they had like a little dance party thing, and it was Tron themed. So they had someone dressed up like him doing the introductions, and it was all kinds of like music and then dancing, and it was really kind of fun. I love the dance party, and then they got rid of the Tron aspect of it. But they had a mock-up of one of the light cycles there.
Oh, very nice. I would love to just like if the ride ever gets to the U.S. I really hope it gets to the U.S. one day.
It's building
I cannot wait.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, they are building.
I want a picture on a light cycle.
Yeah, no, the light cycle ride is going to be at Magic Kingdom. The track is almost finished.
Oh, nice.
But like, when does it open? But at this rate, when does it open?
Next year.
Oh, sometime next year in 2021.
Sometime 2021. All right.
So, if not 2022, I think 2022.
Okay.
But I have a couple updates on my channel. You should check it out.
Nice. Nice, very nice. Be more than happy to discuss what's been happening with certain projects we're working on and things going on at our respective channels. As soon as the movie is concluded, we will go right into those magic things called plugs. Right into those plugs. We will.
Plugs, digital. I get it.
Plugs, digital, Tron.
Funny.
Yeah, I know, right?
Gotta love the outfits so much. Those are just so cool.
Right into that one.
So they're motorcycle boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I do have to say I like the idea of Clue being yellow. Because the idea of yellow just gives like a couple of different things about his character. Obviously, yellow being, cowardly, like
they called Marty an
a fourth-grade person.
Yeah.
And also, since you're a DC person, Ryan, yellow being the the lantern of avarice, of greed, wanting to have it all. Is it yellow or is it orange?
I haven't read enough of those
orange
comics.
Is avarice. Yellow is fear.
Yeah, I haven't read enough of those
But
comics.
the two of them together, it does work together. If that's the case, if one, I know one's definitely fear and one is definitely greed.
Yeah.
And if you're having that as like your villain's colors, as opposed to like the blues and the whites and the greens that you see with everyone else, it plays in. Because usually always people think like, oh, if you're red, you're evil. But really, anything on the warmer spectrum kind of has like its own evil intent.
I am Clue. You will create the perfect system. I will create the perfect system.
It's funny you bring up the DC universe. I've been binge watching a DC series I taped months and months ago during the little before the summer started, because I know it aired on the streaming service, but then they re-aired it for those who didn't have access to it on the CW. I gotta say, DC Stargirl is really good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the season.
Yeah, Stargirl is really good. How many episodes am I in now? 5 or 6 episodes in, and I gotta say, it's good. It's a good, modern telling of the origin story of certain characters from the OG DC universe and the golden age, whatever it was, of the JSA and the Injustice Society. Like it's fascinating stuff.
Have you watched Doom Patrol?
No, I have not. I have not seen any of the other DC series, except I watched the pilot for Swamp Thing, which I thought was kind of cool, but then I forgot to tape all the other episodes that were airing on CW, so I got to go back on demand and see if those are still sitting there. But I have all the episodes of Stargirl that I'm in the process of binge watching, and Stargirl is really impressive, especially the young actress who plays the title character, Beck Basinger, which I'm assuming is Kim Basinger's daughter, maybe.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm just assuming that because she shares the same last name with Kim, aka the girl I've had at one point I had a crush on Kim back in the 80s when Batman came out. Vicky Vale. But yeah, Beck Basinger is playing Courtney Whitmore on Stargirl, and I gotta say, if she is Basinger's daughter, she's got mad talent. That girl's good. She's good as the title character of Stargirl.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm binge watching it now. I'll as soon as it's over, I'll share my my thoughts on it, either on a live stream one day or something or other. It's a good show.
If you have HBO Max, you can watch Doom Patrol. It's on there, and I just read the other day. First of all, it's really entertaining, and then I just read the other day that They're working on season 3 right now, and I was really surprised on how good it was.
Yeah, sure. You can watch HBO Max if you hate cinemas.
I mean,
I'm just going to drink my tea as I say that.
No, it's fine. I'm,
Yeah, but see, a lot of the TV shows I like are now only on Max. Like, South Park is not on TV anymore; it's on Max.
Whoa, Clues Army's back. Clues Army has showed up to the club.
Daft Punk is not scared.
Daft Punk is going to play some awesome music, specifically this title track known as Derezed for the club scene.
Yes, this is what I used to promote the show tonight. Or at least a remix version of it.
Yes, I saw that on your Instagram that we shared on our feed. That's good stuff, man. Nice work.
But this is pretty much like the title track of the movie. Like when you think Tron Legacy's music, this is like the standout song.
Yep, Derezed, Daft Punk. I love it. Chorus here. Here we go. Now it's a fight.
Oh, she's all pissed. It's like, I sent him to you. Look what happened.
He's fantastic.
Heck of an actor, that Michael Sheen. And I know he's doing a TV series right now on Fox called Prodigal Son. I have not seen it, and I haven't heard any reviews because I haven't really read too much into it. But if you want to catch Michael Sheen on TV, new season of Prodigal Son debuts in January.
I've heard decent things.
On Fox.
He's interesting when he goes crazy. I personally prefer him when he's a little bit more mellow, let's say. Like if you ever watched Good Omen or Good Omens on Amazon, him and the voice of Scrooge McDuck, David Tennant, playing an angel and a devil.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, David Tennant. Yeah.
Oh, it's fun stuff.
And I believe, what is it? They announced that, what was it? DuckTales has been canceled, but Darkwing Duck is coming.
Yeah, but I'm not concerned about DuckTales being canceled. It's lasted as long as any other DC animated show. In fact, probably just as long as not the original. So it's running its course. It has its storyline. They've marked it up to a proper end rather than going the Simpsons route and going way too many seasons over than it should.
Oh yeah.
So I'm happy it's going out on the note it wants to.
Isn't it Simpsons going on like its 40th season now?
It's only 32nd.
Oh, feels like forever.
Don't make me feel older than I already am. Already.
Sorry. I mean, when I see how long that show and certain other series have been on, it's like, man, why are you still here? I didn't expect Supernatural to go almost, 15 years the way it did, but that's because the creator had a 5-year plan. He left. Network renewed the series anyway against his wishes, and they just extended it throughout another 10 years. And I'm like, I'm good with 5 seasons as the creator intended. No thanks.
Yeah, to the point where they actually botched the series finale.
I didn't see it, so I don't know what they did.
They didn't do much.
I wasn't there. I know friends of mine who watched the show all 15 years, and they did a review of it. What was it, 2 weeks ago on their show? And it was like a 2.5-hour show. And hey, good for you. Glad you were able to share your thoughts with the world. I just didn't watch it because I just didn't care for it. But hey, everyone has their fan base and everyone has their niche.
Concur.
Yeah, very true. Yep.
Already.
Oh, where's that line? Where's the line?
Fucking kid.
Where's the line?
You really
Sam.
messing with my Zen thing, man.
There it is. You're messing with my Zen thing, man.
I don't know.
It's amazing how one character can just play into so many roles that you do sense it. It's like everything he does now is just dude adjacent.
Except in the dinner scene, he wasn't drinking a Black Russian.
Well, they can only make so much on the grid.
That's true. Could make him a Black Russian. That's true.
I'd like to think if they actually had a black drink on the grid, it would probably look like motor oil. It would be that viscous.
Yeah, that is true. Going technical with it, then yes.
Now this I really liked. Certainly an upgrade from the sailing ship that they had in the first.
Yeah.
That thing looked like a pirate ship. This looked like an actual like an elevated train.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I can't
One had more
not
style.
to show too much of my geekdom, but I can't even remember seeing the Tron levels playing Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah. I love Kingdom Hearts. It's still one of my favorite games to play.
I still haven't finished 3.
Really?
I have the disc. I really should. Maybe over Christmas break, if I'm not working.
Now you're in New Jersey, right?
Yes, sir.
What about you? Where are you located?
I am in Maryland. I'm in Maryland.
Got you. Maryland's great. I did a lot of work in Maryland.
Ironically,
Oh.
both states have a town called Newark.
And then I'm obviously in Orlando area.
Yes. City of Magic and the Magic Kingdom. All right, all right, all right.
I love living here. I moved here from California.
Oh, that's cool. And I believe, what was it?
Go back.
Well, you know, one of the first times we met, Ryan was telling me how he lives in the birthplace of cinema. Right, Ryan? That's what you told me? Birthplace of cinema?
That's how I like to sell it, yes.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I believe you told me birthplace of cinema. Somerset, New Jersey. Is that it?
Edison, New Jersey.
Edison. Sorry, Edison. Yeah, it was something.
As in Thomas Alva Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park.
Ah, that's it. Yep. That was one of the first times we met. He told me, I asked him, where are you from? And then he just gives me this nice long spiel about where he's from. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Birthplace of cinema. There you go.
Yeah, and we never get enough credit.
Now it's time for me a story.
Let me see, where was I? So just to give everyone a heads up, we're about an hour and almost an hour, 23 minutes into the film known as Tron Legacy for its 10th anniversary, and we want to thank you for joining us. If you want to queue up your copy, put it on your streaming service, your Blu-ray player, your DVD player, what have you, feel free to do so. As we go deeper and deeper into the film, you know, we're enjoying this. We're very thankful that you're with us, and we hope you're enjoying the holiday season. And I know things have been rough for every single person on this planet, but we hope you get some enjoyment and some form of entertainment out of us celebrating the 10th anniversary of a film known as Tron Legacy.
Yeah, that's one thing I do have to say. Again, considering this is my first time actually doing like a watch along.
Sure.
The watch along itself, like the conversation juxtaposed to the actual film, is not that distracting because when you look at Tron Legacy, look, as much as we may enjoy it and as much as we are watching it, the plot and the dialogue is not the best. It's like this is strictly a visual movie. It might as well be up there with Avatar in that respect. One of those things you can just put on, you can watch, and it's like you know when you should be paying attention, and the rest of the time it's like, yeah, so tell me about DC, which is all the way on the other side of the spectrum.
You know, 10 years ago, I would have somewhat disagreed with that statement, but nowadays, because I rewatched this 5 months ago before tonight's festivities, and I thought to myself, yeah, the dialogue isn't great. This thing is just a visual it's a visual feast, but overall, the dialogue and the plot could be something left to be desired, but you can still kind of turn off your brain, enjoy it for what it is, and I still get a lot of enjoyment out of this movie. Maybe not quite as much as I did when I first saw it in theaters 10 years ago, because it's a different experience when you're watching it in the comfort of your own home, but it's still a fun movie to watch, especially during the battle sequences.
It's almost as if Disney thought, what if we made our own version of Matrix? And even then, the Matrix itself was at least memorable with some of its writing.
Yeah.
But that's essentially what they were kind of going for. As long as you got enough philosophical with what you were talking about, and you sounded smart enough, you could get away with it.
Yeah. Matrix is a good film. The sequels never happened. For that franchise, anyway. Let's see, what was I going to look for? Let's see.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just every time. Look, as the third act gets on, anytime one character says to another character, "You will do that," or "You will see that," they never end up seeing it or doing it because they die. That is one of the worst foreshadowing things I have ever seen in movies. That's exactly how I know someone about to get got.
Yeah.
So hacky.
Put a knock on the sky, see what happens, what I can hear. It's basically his way of saying, I'm Yoda, I'm just going to meditate and feel the Force.
Well, if he's Yoda, that makes Michael Sheen's character Jar Jar Binks, because he is just animated.
At least he's a better version of the character.
Yeah, he actually has power.
Yeah, actually does stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one too. What? Big what? What are you going to do?
This is the disc you've been looking for.
It's amazing the different kinds of personalities that you'll apparently get in this artificial and yet ever-evolving universe that's created. It's like, where do they get the influence to be that kind of mentality? Or is it something that just comes naturally to some people, to be crazy?
Of course, you're right. Enjoy the drink.
Don't drink it.
Ruh-roh.
Run, bitch! All this setup and you don't have like a panic room? God.
Yeah, right. That didn't go well.
Jeez. Never trust someone that doesn't look real.
It was a mistake.
Yes, but it led to some great fight scenes.
And we got to listen to Daft Punk.
I will always say any mistake is acceptable as long as it leads to something entertaining. That's why I enjoy watching drama, but I hate being a part of it.
I actually concur with that 100%. I don't want to be involved with the drama, but I sure the hell want to hear it.
Oh, yeah. It's like a, gas truck running into a burning tire of just explosions and all sorts of sights. Terrible, but you can't look away.
Everyone I knew disappeared. Then they came for me. So I ran. A sympathetic program smuggled me out of the city. But soon they had me surrounded. I prepared for the end. And just as everything was going wrong.
Now, here's the question. If they ever do make a Tron 3, do you bring back Cora?
You have to.
But she's in the real world now.
Yeah, but you still.
The ending. Damn it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. If you haven't seen it, it's okay. If you haven't seen this movie before, we are gonna issue a bit of a spoiler warning here. But I will say, if you are gonna make a Tron 3, you got to bring back Sam, you got to bring back Cora, you got to bring back Dillinger's kid, played by Cillian Murphy.
Here's the thing:
You got to bring back those three
bring back
characters.
Korra. Don't bring back Sam. Or if you are going to bring back Sam, recast him. I'm sorry.
It wasn't his fault. It was the writing.
Yes, but to be fair, he hasn't really done much since.
That is true.
If you're going to make Tron 3 and you're going to want to bring in a market and you're going to want to bring the fans back, it might help to bring back at least one stable character, one stable actor, which Olivia Wilde, I'm sure, is available for.
She is.
But I'm getting nothing. You know who you could replace him with if you really wanted to? Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, Sons of Anarchy. Okay.
Anarchy, Pacific Rim. Loved him in The Gentleman.
Bring back Jax. Or, well, in this case, bring him as a new character, but yes, Charlie Hunnam. Okay.
Yes. I'd say bring in Charlie Hunnam as Sam, as a grown-up Sam.
Okay. If that's a direction they want to go,
Let's face it. Olivia Wilde still looks like the way she does now, I'm sure.
Yeah, some people just
the woman's
don't age.
ageless.
Yeah, some people just don't age. But yes, if you are going to recast Sam, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with Charlie Hunnam. There you go. Yeah. So you want to recast Sam? That's fine. Bring back Korra with Olivia Wilde, and then bring back Dillinger's kid, played by Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Cillian Murphy's fantastic.
If anything, make him more of a threat than he was in this film.
To move.
It's like, how do you bring in Cillian Murphy and you have him in for like 3 minutes of the film so far?
Well, I mean, he's Dillinger's kid, so it just makes sense.
Still, it's like
he would want payback.
Money you could have saved by just getting anybody for that. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, but I still would like to see him play a more pivotal role in the third installment because Cillian
Which is why
Murphy's
I was hoping for a third installment because they set up so much with other people, other characters.
Yeah, if they bring back Cillian Murphy for the third one, if they ever make a third one, I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah, that would be fine.
I like Cillian Murphy a lot, not just because we saw him in the Dark Knight trilogy, but because he's done other stuff too, with Peaky Blinders, and then he did Red Eye in 2005 or 6 with Rachel McAdams, where he plays the bad guy again. Fantastic job in Red Eye. That's a good Wes Craven film. And by the way, Wes Craven, R.I.P. You know,
Years later,
of course, but still, I enjoy Red Eye. Red Eye is one of my favorite Wes Craven movies. If anyone hasn't seen Red Eye, look it up. Good thriller. Who's looking for him? Rinsler, aka the reprogrammed version of Tron, is looking for that.
Korra! What's she doing?
Changing the equation.
Parkour!
Hardcore.
That's the name of the movie.
Seriously.
You can't just let her go. Sam, there's another way.
There's always another way.
Mm-hmm.
There is another way.
Well, sir.
King to the castle.
Yeah, seriously.
Dad's home, king of the castle, lord of the manor. Hello, lithium mode on. That's better. Damn kids. Sorry, that was a reference to Back to the Future Part 2. Which, what am I thinking of? Again, Back to the Future. Turned 35 years young this year.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And then them going into the future, October 21st, 2015, turned 5 years young. Not the movie, but the timeline that it was set in.
And I still don't have my hoverboard.
I don't have my hoverboard. I don't have my flying DeLorean car. Like, come on, people, get on it.
We have a light cycle ride, and we can't get a fucking hoverboard without 2 wheels looking like a douchebag.
I know.
Where is our hoverboard, I wonder? Where is it? I want one.
Oh. The thing is, I've seen people develop a hoverboard.
Yeah.
But obviously not mass marketed.
I need to borrow your hoverboard. Where is it? I'll give it back to you. Okay. Hey, kitty little girl, thanks. Forget it. I got a pit bull now. To get the bigger one at the end of that.
Funny enough, the one that I actually saw got developed, it looks like the pit bull. It is huge.
Really? The one that Griff was riding on? Nice.
It's big. It has to be in order to have like enough magnetics in it in order to lift off the ground.
You know, I didn't know that the guy who was trying to get Marty to help donate money to help save the clock tower in the timeline of 2015 was the voiceover actor for Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was. I didn't know that was him until some years ago. Didn't even know that was him.
One of the flyers he was handing out in the movie. I used to have one of the original flyers.
Isn't he also the voice of the Crypt Keeper?
I had the
Or was he at one point?
little pizza wrapper from.
Oh, you mean the Pizza Hut that they put in the hydrator?
Yeah, I used to have one of the wrappers from the film.
Oh my gosh! Hydrate level 4, please.
Actually, my favorite prop that I own is I own John Hammond's cane from Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Kid you
Hey,
not?
Ron-
Said that I might order Pizza Hut after this.
Ryan O'Regan, are we feeling jealous of Dr. Lupo over here right now? I sure am.
We all have our stories.
It's true, but gee whiz. Hydrate level 4, please. If we all had hydrators that could make pizza that fast, I wouldn't have to drive out to my pizza place to do curbside pickup every week.
We've got air fryers. That's the closest thing we've got at the moment.
Yeah, we just don't have hydrators like they use in the movie, so I have to drive over to the place I get pizza every week instead of like having a hydrator. Just throw it in there and just have it go for 5 seconds, and then boom, I have a hot pizza.
The key to the next frontier is finally in our possession.
We got the key. Oh, he's got the cane, Ryan.
Yes. And unlike our selfish creator,
So we got.
That's a decent cane, though. I will
So
give
he
you
grabs onto that and he says 2 no-shows and 1 sick triceratops. It could have been worse, John.
I keep that in my safe.
There you go. What was the combination?
My friend gave it to me.
What was the combination of that safe again? So Ryan and I can write it down. We got our notepads in front of us. I'm going to write this down. What was it again?
See, that's the thing. Best I've got is like Batman Forever glass.
Oh, you have the 95 glasses? Oh, I'm so jealous.
I used to have a set of those.
Yeah, I used to have
the 4. I don't have the Robin one, but I do have Two-Face, Batman, and Riddler.
If I were going to have one right now, I would want the Batman one. But I did have the Riddler one when I originally got it.
Yeah,
I wish I still had
Robin escapes me, but then again, no one really cared.
No,
I got the 3 important people. I'm good.
Yeah. That's a
I'd rather
cool.
collect these than say like the Slurpee mugs that they used to have back in the day.
That's a cool collector's item that you have there, though, right?
So I take this cane down to Universal often and go over to Jurassic Park and let the team members take pictures with it.
Nice. Do they ever drop any Hammond lines while they're at it?
No.
No, they don't do a Richard Attenborough.
I go to the Discovery Center. In the Discovery Center, the dinosaur bones that are hovering are the ones from the actual film that are hanging inside the main building.
Right. Nice, man.
Yeah.
All kinds of
movie prop wise, I also own Ron, Hermione, and Harry's wand from the second film.
Chamber of Secrets. Yeah.
Yep. The actual film wands. They had hundreds of wands, but these all screen time.
See, it's funny that you mentioned Jurassic Park because every time I see Clue, it reminds me of what Ian Malcolm said in the original movie. It's like you spent so much time wondering if you could, you didn't think to stop whether or not you should.
Yeah, good lines in those films too. Yeah.
Great movie.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, looking at him, it's like, yeah, you can make Clue like that, but should you?
Yeah, you're treating this like it's a project, but you treat it like you're a kid who's found his dad's gun. You didn't earn any knowledge for yourselves, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it, slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and you want to sell it. Well, yeah, but your scientists were so busy thinking they could, they didn't stop to think whether they should. I'm telling you, man, Jeff Goldblum is such a good actor. So good at those roles. He's good.
It's gonna be a shame when they kill him in the next Jurassic World movie.
Dude, I don't even get me started on how downhill that franchise. It's not even a franchise. It's just one movie. I don't even count the sequels.
It's one movie rehashed from
over and over and over. And then when I thought Jurassic World would actually be a step in the right direction, they did the complete opposite of what I thought they were going to do. You had a woman running away from a T-Rex in high heels. You got Chris Pratt acting like Chris Pratt and not an actual character. It's like, dude, I didn't pay to see people just acting like themselves. I want a little bit of character development, if not actual more realism. If you're going to run away from a dinosaur, don't wear high heels because Bryce Dallas Howard.
Can we just note for the fact that Flynn just pulled a Fonzie?
Yeah, he did. But still, let me tell you, Jurassic World is one of the worst motion pictures I've ever seen in my life. It is garbage. Hate that movie. So if there are any Jurassic World fans out there, I'm sorry if I offended you, but that film is garbage.
Now, would you consider a sequel that was either equal or better than the first film?
For Jurassic Park, nothing compares to the
Well,
original.
no, I'm talking a film where you felt the sequel was as good, if not better. I have one right off the bat.
I mean, the go-to answer, if I had to think of one right now, would probably be Empire Strikes Back. But, you know.
But
that's the go-to.
you didn't know sequels. They're not sequels. They're individual movies.
Well,
yeah. So to me, Aliens was as good, if not better, than Alien.
Yeah. I haven't seen Aliens yet. I've seen Alien, and I wasn't overly impressed with it. I thought it was fine, but it's not one of the GOATs, as a lot of people make it out to be. But maybe it's because it's a generational thing. But I will sit down and watch Alien at some point. It's going to happen.
Have you watched the director's cut of it?
Of what? Of
Aliens.
Like I said, I've never seen Aliens. I've only seen Alien.
Oh my God, you've got to watch Aliens. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Aliens is good for being like an 80s sci-fi movie, whereas Alien, I would say, is one of the kings of the slow burn horror film.
It was
you didn't even see the monster until the end of the movie.
That movie.
You knew it was there, and you heard it, but you didn't really get to see it.
With the chain shaking and him coming down. Oh,
so good.
Not a big Alien.
That scene in the great movie ride at Universal Studios, not Universal, Disney Studios.
Not a big Alien fan. I wasn't overly impressed with the first Alien, but then again, I need to sit down and watch Aliens. So
yeah,
game over, man. Game over.
I know some of the tropes, but I have not seen Aliens yet. But outside of the Alien franchise, at least this was a while ago, so this isn't more recent. But I have seen Predator, and Predator to me is a lot better than Alien. A lot better.
I would say so. Predator was great.
Predator is fantastic.
I was a big
fan. They're completely different movies.
I know.
Predator is an action film. Alien is a horror film.
I know, but between the big properties that were well known back then, to me, Predator is better than Alien.
Well, that didn't last long.
Yeah, he's like, it's like, hey, you lost the disc. Okay, this is what you get for not guarding it with your life. You're dead. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to get off track about 80s nostalgia, but we are about an hour and 49 minutes into Tron Legacy. For those of you who are just joining us, thank you for being with us. And if you want to queue up your movie for the last 20 or so minutes of the film, 15 or so minutes, feel free to do so.
We are flying into the climax.
Well, we got 23 minutes left, right?
Yeah, around if I'm looking at this correctly, hour 45, and the movie's only 2 hours and 5 minutes, but counting credits, it's like, it's 2 hours even, maybe an hour 58 minutes. Because the credits go on. It's a lot. Billions of people worked on this movie. So, and for good measure.
Well, yeah, with a budget like that, you'd hope enough people worked
on it. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people worked on this movie. But anyway, yes, we hope you are enjoying this presentation of Tron's Legacy's 10th anniversary.
That's always the disappointing thing about a movie like this. Even when a movie makes money, when you hear that the movie didn't make enough money.
Yeah, it made money when it came out.
It's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like,
according to Disney executives, it didn't make the money that they wanted to make, and that's why we didn't get a Tron 3. And I'm like, dude, it made some good money. Not great money, but it made enough. Just should have made a Tron 3.
What do you expect when you make a sequel from decades where the original movie came from? Have we not seen enough movies where it's been over 10 years since the original film, if not longer, And the sequel never really balances out to what the original is acclaimed to. There's a certain expectation you should have when making something like this.
I can see that, but deep down, I'm always going to want my Tron 3.
Now, if we end up getting like a sequel to The Black Hole or something Wicked This Way Comes or something like that, oh, God help us.
Yeah. Blast him, Sam.
I have to admit, though, on Tron Legacy, the music is so well matched to the scenes.
Yes. Yep. The
Really like it.
Score / soundtrack for Tron Legacy is definitely something to behold. It's quite amazing. And the technologies and the weapons and the vehicles they use in this movie are just they're crazy. They're wonderful.
Yes, unfortunately, I don't think it was used in Amaru's ones. No, it wasn't Amaru. It was Tony's Wednesday night fights when they did soundtracks. I don't think anyone mentioned Tron Legacy.
Oh, that's not good. Why didn't you mention it? Why didn't somebody mention it, I should say? I'm disappointed, but I'm glad that they mentioned my favorite, Dazed and Confused, which I'm happy that someone mentioned it as their first round pick that week. That was Brooklyn. To me, Dazed and Confused is the GOAT, so Brooklyn chose it, and I'm like, yeah, Brooklyn wins this one.
You're just saying that because we're seeing a movie that already has like the pivotal hippie of all time.
Still, it's a great soundtrack. And then other people chose a few other. Like I wrote a comment on the poll that was posted by Peggy, and I'm thinking, okay, 2 people made some good picks, but when Brooklyn chooses the GOAT, I'm going with Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, you got my vote. You win. I think it was Peggy and Ryan Payne had some good picks, though. No, it wasn't Peggy. It was somebody. It was Ryan and somebody else. Ryan Peggy. Man, look at these ships.
Come on, Tron, sink or swim time.
Going up.
Yeah, here's something I really wanted to know. If you wanted to go ahead and get a plane that was going to go ahead and escape your followers, why are you picking the biggest fucking plane possible for them to shoot at?
The vulnerable one? Yeah.
Whereas they ran out of a window and they had planes with them, and it was like fighter pilots. Whereas this thing is like the fucking Spruce Goose.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, you couldn't find something smaller and less, obvious.
Cora, there's something I need you to do.
Just inviting trouble.
I almost bought that ship, the die-cast version of it from the collector, but I'm thinking, you know what? I just want the stuff that I would really can see myself piloting, and a light cycle is really the only one I can see myself actually being on and riding that and battling other people. So I'll just stick with Sam's light cycle. Thank you very much. Because Kevin Flynn's light cycle only gets like 1 scene in this movie, and I'm thinking, nah, I'll take Sam's.
Plus, it really doesn't look like a light cycle. It just looks like a motorcycle project that someone built.
Yeah. That's why I went with Sam's light cycle to purchase from this collector that had extras of certain vehicles and figures that he was selling. Nope. He's no longer Rinsler, but he transforms back into Tron as he's slowly sinking into that pool of water. That's another thing. They left that as a cliffhanger. Whatever happened in the never told what happened.
That's for Tron 3.
Yeah, Tron 3. Disney, if you're watching this, give us our Tron 3 that we've been dying for 10 years.
When it comes to something like that, I always just say, he's fine. At the end of the movie, if you don't know what happened to the guy, he's fine.
He is Tron, after all, so he's most likely going to live to fight another day. On the grid.
He's in the title.
Yeah, he's in the title of the films themselves.
As a matter of fact, I would even say if you did Tron 3, forget Sam, forget Cora. Let Tron 3 be what happens to Tron once he snaps out of it.
The whole movie about Tron.
Yes, finally.
But don't call it Tron then, because you'll break the first 2 movies were called Tron, and he's hardly in them. So why don't we call the next one stuff that happened to Cyber Guy, and it'd be all about Tron.
All right. If they went in a different storytelling direction, I'd be okay with that. The bottom line is I just want my 3rd film.
Yeah.
Call it Tron Reality.
care what it is. I don't care who the main character, supporting characters, or what even the storyline is. Just give me my Tron 3.
You don't look so bad. I did everything.
That robe is really good looking. It's a good looking robe that Kevin Flynn's wearing.
I executed the plan. As you saw it, you promised that we would change the world together. You broke your promise. I know. I understand that now. I took the system to its maximum potential. I created the perfect system. The thing about perfection is that it's unknowable. It's impossible, but it's also right in front of us all the time. You wouldn't know that because I didn't when I created you.
You're dumb because I'm dumb.
Sorry.
There were a few interesting themes that they play on with in this film.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Which I do respect them a lot for doing that. Because you don't think about it when you're seeing it for the first time in theaters, but then when you really sit down and think about it for a while, you're like, oh, I get what he's saying.
Oh.
Kick to the gut.
You can't hug a child like that. You got to put him
to
in
the gut.
the corner.
To the face. Right hand. Left hand.
Go.
Oh, he says go. Just leave. Go. Don't worry about me. Grappling hook.
I love how she did that rather than just run up to him and like push him out of the way.
It's like basically half of the double-bladed saber that Darth Maul was carrying around. And now the bridge is starting to divide itself and come apart.
You knew I'd beat you. Instead, you did all this for him.
That's not his.
Yeah, pretty innocuous. You can just interchange them.
That's not his.
He's my son.
Everyone misses their first jump.
You can only have superhuman powers for so long.
No way to get my Matrix reference.
Sam, it's what he wants.
I'm not leaving you.
Yes, you are. Come on, we need the poster look.
Yeah, I do like the poster pose, I will say. I don't have it in my possession yet, but if one of these days I ever get a Tron Legacy poster, I am certainly more than happy to get one to add to my movie poster collection because I have a lot of different movie posters. I'm happy to get a Tron Legacy one. There it is.
Skybeam!
Goodbye, kiddo.
All great sci-fi movies have a skybeam.
Now, why didn't he do that earlier on?
Like years ago.
Yeah, right? Could have saved us a lot of time.
No, he wanted his like bachelor pad up in the mountains.
Yeah, with that young girl.
Like every other LA douche. Notice he doesn't rub a magnet over anything in order to make sure it's not usable.
I take it that's whatever's left of the grid is in that chip? Or is that clue that's in that chip?
I'm not sure.
Now that I think about it, I wonder what isn't that information chip he has on him. There's Alan, played by the legendary Bruce Boxleitner.
Essentially, the chip itself is just access.
Maybe it is.
The grid itself is always going to be there regardless now. It's just if you want to weigh in or if you want to have some remembrance or some way of seeing your father in some escape, that's the only way to do it.
Maybe so.
Oh, you were right. On what?
Everything.
About everything.
Yeah, we've heard those lines uttered before.
You know what we're really right about? Babylon 5.
Which, again, I know it's got a huge fandom out there. I don't believe, if I remember correctly, I don't believe I've actually seen an episode of Babylon 5. But I do know it's got a huge following. And look who's now in the real world, outside of the digital realm.
How long have they been there that she got regular clothing?
Probably went to his man cave and he had some clothes that could fit her. I don't know.
Why would he have clothing for a woman in there?
Maybe I'm wrong, Ryan. Maybe I'm overthinking the obvious. Who knows? I don't know. They robbed a clothing store in the middle of the night as the sun is just about to come up. Because as we know, in 1984's The Terminator, Kyle Reese broke into a place in the middle of the night to get himself some new clothes.
They probably dropped down, went to Ross,
They went to the place to get clothing because that's what Kyle Reese did in my favorite Terminator movie, The Terminator.
Yes. Love that movie.
I love it more than T2. Fun fact for the kids out there, I am a bigger fan of the original Terminator movie than I am of its sequel, Terminator 2.
I am the same.
Love that movie to pieces. I can rewatch it any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
I often have.
Oh, look at her, so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
And
They hit the oil and they crash and die.
He says to her, I will show you what a sunrise is, and that's what they see as they ride off.
It's like I almost want to find out if they actually end up with a relationship, but I gotta think, she was doing stuff to Papa Flynn all through that time.
Yeah.
She learned quick.
So do you ever wonder if they ended up having kids, if they would come out as Cuberts?
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is something we're going to have to discuss for another time. The movie is officially over. Tron Legacy, the 10th anniversary watch-along, has come to its conclusion. The credits are rolling, but the credits, seeing them in the theater was fantastic. Even watching them at home and hearing that score by the one and only Daft Punk is so sweet to listen to. But I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight for the 10th anniversary of Tron Legacy. Thank you to the cast and crew for putting together a visual feast for the eyes and an amazing theatrical experience, or an experience you want to have by rewatching it within your own home. I want to take this opportunity to thank our guests that joined us tonight. So before we leave, Ryan, the Real Ordeal O'Regan, where can the good people find you on the interwebs and everything you have coming up?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even TikTok when I actually think well enough to actually put something on there, at Real Ordeal. That's REEL, because we're all about cinema here, especially here in Jersey, the birthplace of cinema. And, of course, you can always find me at Real Ordeal Entertainment. That's pretty much where I talk about any and all movie news going on. And who knows? Now that I've actually lived through my first watch-along, I may do some more. We'll see if there's anything that comes along the pike. And hopefully, Ryan, Dr. Lupo, if I ever decide to do one, maybe you'll join me.
I would be happy to.
Same here. Likewise, be more than happy to be a part of that show when it comes about, hopefully in 2021, because a number of movies are going to be celebrating different anniversaries, as movies tend to do every year. So we will stay tuned for more details on that as we go along. Our special, one of our other special guests tonight, Dr. Robert Lupo. I want to say it was really great meeting you and having you present here with us for this 10th anniversary watch along. And I want to ask, where can the good people of the interwebs find you and everything you have coming up?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube under The Orlando Wizard.
All right. I like it. And you can find me and everything that we're doing here at NerdCulture. My name is Ryan. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's NerdCulture. New videos are dropping each and every week on our channel, so stay tuned for those. Don't forget to give our videos a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, your family, your coworkers. Do all that stuff, and I hope you'll join us next time right here on NerdCulture. In the meantime, please stay healthy, stay safe, stay strong, and happy holidays. And one more thing, we'll see you on the grid.
Feliz Navidad.